G'day everyone, Ali here. Well, today I'm going to make a birthday card for a baby shower that I'm going to next weekend. So it's my first granddaughter that's going to be born very, very soon. So I think we were only about 6 weeks out. But I've got some items here and I'm going to do a bit of a 3D sort of a card. So it's going to be a very it's going to be easy, but I've been inspired by Pinterest, some baby cards on Pinterest. So I've got in my mind what I want to do. So I've got my KaiserCraft Peekaboo girl, because we're having a girl. I've got my Nuvo drops and my liquid drops 3D pearl. So I don't know which one I'm going to be using at the moment, but I've just pulled them out just in readiness. I bought these spoons a couple of months ago on eBay, so I'm actually going to put that on the front of the card. And I have also got some cards that I purchased at Kmart last weekend. These were really, really cheap. They're 10 cards. They're a 15 by 15 centimetre square card. And they were only $3, and there's 10 cards with envelopes in the pack. So I'm pretty impressed with that. And they're like a bit of a pearl, so pearlescent sort of a card. So it's got a bit of a shimmer to it, and I thought this would be really, really nice to make up a baby card. I've also pulled out some dies that I think I'm going to use. So I've got some corner dies here. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but what I will use will be linked over on my website. Thought I might make some flowers for the front of the card. So I've picked out a heap of flowers and stems. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but I've just picked them out randomly just so that they're on my desk. I've also got this baby charm set by Karen Burniston. Now, I'm a huge fan of Karen, and I've got this baby charm die, and I'm actually thinking of using the dummy and maybe the little bunny rabbit here. So that's the size of them there. Okay, and I think she still sells these from her new website. I think it's Riley & Co. But I'll link that website down below as well. I've purchased a few things from Karen's new website there. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and just have a look to see what I'm going to use. Now, I have had a bit of a flick through, and I have found this little quote here, and I'm going to cut it out and have that as the focal point on my card. But I also want to layer my card on the front, so I'm thinking of using some different colors, or sorry, different patterns on the front of the card here. So I am thinking of using this here, and also the flower one as well. So it is going to be a little bit of a busy card, but that's okay. I'm just really looking forward just to having fun making this card up. So I'll get all my stuff cut out, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've cut all my cardstock out, and what I want to do is I want to edge the quote here, and I'm going to pick some distress ink in Fired Brick just to go around the outside of my quote. And I'm going to do this on my patterned paper as well, just to give it a bit of dimension to the front of my card. So this piece here is a bit of a script writing, and then I'll do it the same for the flower piece here. So I have got some mounting card that I've cut out. Also, just going around the outside with the fire brick colour, just to give it that little bit of interest as well. So now all I've got to do is just put all my pieces together. So my bits of paper onto the mounting cardstock that I have, and I'm just going to use some adhesive tape for this here. Now I do like to use just a little bit of PVA glue just on the outside because it helps with the wiggle, and putting that onto the mounted cardstock. Also, the way that I do mount the paper onto the mounted card is I'll just release 2 corners, and that also helps me line up to the mounted cardstock. So I'm just going to place all my bits onto the front here, just to see how it looks. I've also cut out some corners as well, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Ranger's silver embossing powder to emboss this corner piece here. So it'll also add some dimension, and I just use some Versamark embossing ink just for that. So I've just got my Ranger's embossing powder here, and I'm just checking, this is my book here, just to make sure that that is what I want, and then I'll just emboss that up. And I do add embossing powder twice, so I'll emboss it the first time all over, and then I go over and I'll emboss it for a second time, and that will help with any little bits that I am missing or I have missed. Now I've got this beautiful die here, and I did get it from AliExpress, and I'm cutting it out of a really pale green cardstock that I have put some double-sided adhesive tape on the back, and this will help me adhere the leaves to the front of my card. So just once again, I'm just going to add some interest. So before I do put the leaves on, I'm just going to place down my various cardstocks that I have mounted onto the front here. I'll just use some PVA glue just to adhere my little silver embellishment down on the corner here. So I've got this floral die that's still stuck into the metal die, and I'm just using my little pokey tool just to poke that through because it has got adhesive on the back. And I did want the swirl to just flow through underneath my sentiment there. So I'm just going to add some ribbon, and I'm just playing around with this because I really don't know how I'm going to mount my little metal spoon and my dummy and little bunny rabbit. So I'm just mucking around with this. I end up getting a jump ring, putting a jump ring on each of the elements, and then putting that onto the ribbon. So it was a lot of mucking around that I did here, but I wanted to leave this in just to show you, it is trial and error when you do something like this and you're not sure how to mount it. So I just get in and just give it a go. Now I have cut my dummy and my little bunny rabbit out just normal cardstock. I've just got my distressed ink pens here, and I'm just going to colour them in with some pinks, and I've got a VersaFine ink pen here, and because I do want to give it a glossy finish, so I'll just, instead of using my glossy accents, I do use clear embossing powder. This gives a very similar effect. Now the great thing about Karen Burniston's dies are she has left a bit of the die exposed, so you can actually colour in like the middle bit of the bunny ears, the eyes, the nose, and also a little love heart which I've coloured in red. So I do love that she has done this. I'm also going to go round just with my distressed ink in the same colour and just put an outline on this die. I'm just going to do the same as what I did with the dummy. I'm just using my Versamark ink pad and just some clear embossing powder just to give it that little bit of a gloss. So I'm just going to pop on my sentiment onto the front here, and then I'm just going to finish off the card. So I will mount it with some foam adhesive because I do want to give that dimension to the front of the card. I'm just going to add some Nuvo drops over my card as well, just all over virtually, but with these really pale green floral leaves, they have got little flowers, and I'm just putting a pink dot in the middle of the flower. So after my Nuvo drops have dried, I'm just going to mount this onto the cardstock, and then I can do any adjustments once the card's all together. Once again, just adding some PVA glue to help with that wiggle, and also just making sure that the card is going to open the right way before adhering my card here. So this is where I'm just looking at my little embellishments here, and I'm just having a look to see where I want them placed, whether I just want them to free fall, but I've decided that I've just put some PVA glue behind the bunny and the dummy, and I do have just a glue dot here. I'm just going to pop that on the back of the spoon because I don't want it to just flop around. So that's my baby card finished for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video process. If you have, please give me your thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting. See ya!